What up, y'all? Before I get into my video, I just want to let y'all know, make sure y'all go subscribe to my personal page. I'm gonna start uploading pretty soon. I've been recording videos, haven't uploaded them yet. I want to upload them all. I'm gonna schedule them all out and have them upload consistently. So just loading up on them. Make sure y'all go subscribe, stay tuned. But real quick, I'm gonna show you a quick preview of one video that I was doing. I told you I was gonna start with talking about haters and things like that. And I also was gonna branch out into different topics that interest me and stuff like that. It's more of a personal page. But real quick, check this out. What up, y'all? So I'm gonna tell you one thing about people is people don't like being wrong about you. Like when people have been saying a lot of negative things about you or been making a lot of false judgments about you, projecting on you and things like that, or like talking about you behind your back, they hate when you do things that contradict the things they've been saying. One way you can notice this is like if you're in a conversation with somebody, you start bringing up positive things about yourself just casually or things like that, they might change the subject or something like that, or they get quiet. The whole vibe start to switch because most likely because they try to make it seem like you was mediocre to other people. They might probably was talking about you behind your back, all kind of stuff. So let's say you start doing things that contradict that. Now they feel bad. Welcome back, y'all. So let's get into the topic. Let's talk about being an outgoing introvert. I'm gonna talk about pretty much I'm an outgoing introvert. It's kind of different than what you would expect an introvert to be. A lot of people expect introverts to be people that just sit in the house, don't like going out, which I can fall into that as well. Different stages of my life, I've had fallen into that. But for the most part, I've always been like an outgoing introvert. And excuse me, I might be sweating still. I just got done working out, but still sweating a little bit. Literally just got out of the gym. But anyways, I've always been an outgoing introvert. I don't really like sitting in the house too much. As a kid, I would go outside every day. I always be playing outside. I had a lot of friends and things like that growing up. I always could make friends very easily as an introvert, mostly because I wouldn't really try too hard to make friends. Because I think what attracted people to me is I didn't care if people were my friend or not. And also I was very I'm pretty non-judgmental in a lot of ways, but at the same time, I guess introverted thinking can be judgmental. But my thing is, the way I look at it as an ISTP, as far as me not being judgmental, as long as you don't bother me, I don't care. Like, I let people do what they want to do. As long as you don't bother me, I really don't care what you do. As long as it ain't affecting me in a negative way. That's how I look at it. That's how probably ISTPs look at it. That, we're not very judgmental, even though we can be judged. At the same time, it's kind of like a paradox. In some ways we are, but in other ways we are like some of the least judgmental people. In some ways too. But of course there are other types that are less judgmental than us, I say. But I'll always be very non-judgmental. I wouldn't look at people and be like, oh, I can't, I wouldn't treat people like, my thing is I never looked at people how sometimes people can be kind of condescending. They look at certain people and they be like, oh, I can't talk to him because he do this. They worry about their status too much. I wouldn't be falling into that too much. I would look at everybody as kind of equal in a way. Of course, I would be selective in ways to where I can't hang around everybody like that, but I would never treat people, I never treat people like they don't matter and stuff like that. I wouldn't be I wouldn't be very condescending to people. No matter where you come from. If you're homeless on the street, I wouldn't treat you no different. This is based on if you respect me. If you disrespect me, then that's when I would be disrespectful to you. But that's how I look at it. But just in that attitude, it would definitely attract people to me. You know what I'm saying? It would attract people to me. People would like my energy. Also because I'm just super laid back. I kind of just be chilling, you know what I mean? I'm really laid back. I can be in the moment and then just be relaxed. And people like that energy too. They don't most of the time people don't like people that try too hard. Try to do the most, trying to impress people. And I'm not in this social mixer thing. I don't play little social games. I don't like being all of that. People like that, you know what I'm saying? But anyways, I've always been an outgoing introvert. I don't like sitting in the house too much. Part of it might be because I got ADHD, like you guys hear me say a lot. But I was always outside. Don't like sitting in the house. Well, I wouldn't say I always don't like sitting in the house, but there's days when I definitely do like sitting in the house and just not doing anything. But I do like to see the world, go out, I'm very adventurous. You know what I'm saying? I'm an adventurous person. I like to go on random um like randomless adventures and stuff like that. In some ways, I like to do like if something I've never tried, I'll try it. Like they say, ISTPs will try anything once. That's kind of fits me too. I'll try it. If I haven't tried it before, I would try it out just to see what it's like. As long as it's not nothing too crazy, of course. But I'll be open to trying things out, and people like that energy as well. But yeah, you get some extroverted types that like sitting in the house more than I do, which is kind of weird. Um, you wouldn't expect that, you know what I'm saying? But much as I like to be out the house or do things outside the house or be active, I would spend a lot of times I'll be doing stuff on my own. I don't really like wait to do stuff with people. I'll be completely content doing things on my own. Um, like I go to bars, but I might not even drink any alcohol. I might go to a bar just to get out the house. Might meet a girl or two or something, like, might be some girls out, just have a good time. But most of the time I'm by myself. A lot of times people look at that and they admire it because they're like, wow, this dude came out by himself, and stuff like that. A lot of times I get complimented on it because people look at me um, and they see it as confident. You know what I'm saying? Like if I was like, I don't look weird or anything like that. Not a bad looking dude. If I was like, I guess weird looking, kind of, if I had a creepy look to me or something, I guess it would look different. But I go out by myself. I usually end up making friends out by myself because people just come want to talk to me. You know what I mean? They like my energy and they can just feel my vibe, I guess. Or I might meet a girl out or something like that. Cause like you go places like that, it's gonna be girls, right? A lot of times I'll meet a girl or something, too, hang out with a girl, whatever. You wouldn't expect I could go to a club too. I don't really dance or nothing like that though. Um, I don't dance, but I might go out and just, you know, might not feel like drinking because I don't really drink a whole lot. I drink maybe here and there, but I don't really drink that much. I don't really, I don't know. It's just one of those things where it's like I don't want to be out of control of myself too much. But every once in a while, like I don't do a lot of drugs in general though. To be fair, but yeah, I like to like travel. I take solo trips, things like that. Like to travel, go out, see what's out there in the world. Usually though, it's for basketball or something. When I take most of my, but also I do just like to take solo trips and things like that. I end up meeting people all the time. Like I'll just meet people wherever I'm at usually, and I can make friendships very easily, just very very easily. And I don't. Most of the time it's them trying to be friends with me because they just think I'm cool or whatever. And I usually have a positive attitude. People like people that are positive. They don't like folks that are like Debbie Downers. They don't like people that just got something negative. Like they don't know how to just have a good time. Like I'm not really a negative person necessarily. Like I'm a realist. Yeah, you guys hear me say real thing. Like I do keep it real. No, don't get it twisted. But I think that's very different from being like actually a negative. I'm not actually a negative person. What up, y'all? I'm back. I was recording in 4K, didn't have the space, so much stopped on me. But anyways, back to what I was saying. People who are negative, they putting too much into the outcome and they get emotionally invested. I'm for the most part not negative, but if I'm in an FE, like if my FE is overwhelming me, I can be negative. If I ever am negative, it's because my FE is overwhelming me, or my NI. My NI can give me negative ideas. I can have negative thoughts about outcomes, even though they probably not gonna happen. I think NI can do that. But other than that, I'm pretty positive dude for the most part. I look at the bright side of most situations. Believe it or not, you might like people look at it otherwise. When you keep it too real, a lot of time people look at it as otherwise. But I do most definitely look at the bright side of things for the most part. I naturally kind of do. Um, like if something happens, I tend to look at it like, oh, let me figure something out. For the most part, but not. Of course, I'm not perfect. You know what I'm saying? I think if you're positive 24/7, I don't think that's real. I think you're faking it, or you're just not being honest with yourself a lot of times. But, I'm not a fan of that. But yeah, yeah, I'm an outgoing guy though. Definitely am. I don't really, I get bored easily. Just like, oh, of course, I do like have maybe shows I might watch, um, things like that. Um, But for the most part, if I'm at the house, I might be going on a date. I might be about going out by myself. I like to go to, I'll be at the gym because I work out regularly. Um, that's part of it too. Just me not want to be at the house, not doing anything. For the most part, I like to be active in some way. I like to be doing something. I like being productive. Like I know, like for the most part, I say out of all the types, TE users like to be productive 24/7. They don't like not being productive. I'm not like that, but I do like to be productive for the most part if I can. Um, like being active and productive. I just don't. I don't know. I get bored not doing anything. And also, I don't like being around people that make a big deal out of like. They always got something like when we can do something fun. I don't like being around people like when I want to do something fun or go out, be outgoing. I don't like those people that are like negative. Don't like feel like doing nothing. I wouldn't say I don't like them, but it can be kind of annoying sometimes. Like if like people that just don't like to do anything or don't like doing anything different and new, that can be kind of annoying to me sometimes. Cause I'm open minded. I like to do different things. I like to try different things out. Cause you never know what I never know what I might like. You know what I'm saying? I'm open to try things out. Just how I am. But yeah, this is like kind of what it is like being an outgoing introvert. I wonder if I'm pretty sure other ISTPs are like that. Of course, other introverts are like that. I think it got a lot to do with my SE because the way that I would primarily interact with the world with my SE would be to do things and do things that are stimulating as far as to my senses in a way. I mean, it's not just senses. It's just an overall outward awareness. Like when people say the five senses, it's not necessarily that simple. It's more like an overall outward awareness of your physical environment. That's a better way to describe it. Um, like the best form of SE is almost like having super senses or something like that. If you want to exaggerate it, it's almost like having super senses. It's like how you might say that NI is super spiritual and psychic in a way. SE is like having superhuman senses. You know what I'm saying? If you wanted to describe it in its most extreme case. Of course, it's not necessarily for both functions. It's not necessarily like that. It's just a little over exaggerated, a little facetious, but yeah, that's kind of what you would say if you want to get a gist of what both of them are like. That's kind of what you would say. Um, but yeah, I'm just thinking, make sure I've said everything that makes sense to say for this topic. But yeah, that's what it's like being an outgoing introvert. Um, I'm an introvert. I like to be out and doing stuff, but I'll do things alone. Kind of don't like dragging people along to do things with me all the time. Sometimes I do, but for the most part, I'll be all right doing stuff on my own because I can leave when I want to. I can go when I want to. I don't gotta worry about waiting on people and worry about how everybody else feel like. If I'm in a group of people, everybody might feel different about things. I don't really like worrying about that too much. I do hang out with groups sometimes. Like I get invited to do things, or I get invited in general. But yeah. With that being said, I am a very likable person. I say for the most part. I mean, you get people. Everybody's not gonna like you, of course. But yeah, I'm pretty likable for the most part. Anyways, thanks for watching.